So lately, we've been swimming in a sea of data, and there's this one term that keeps bubbling up,
Yeah.
edge computing,
It's everywhere, right?
everywhere. And we figured it's high time we dive in.
Yeah. It's more than just a buzzword.
Definitely not just hype. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's start with the basics. What exactly is edge computing?
Okay, so in the simplest terms, imagine instead of sending all your data to a giant data center miles away, you process it closer to the source.
Okay.
That's edge computing.
So instead of like everything going to the cloud,
Exactly.
it's more like happening right there on the device.
Right there on your phone or on a sensor in a factory.
Gotcha. So it's about bringing the processing power closer to the action.
Exactly. And this shift is a pretty big deal because it tackles some of the limitations of traditional cloud computing.
Limitations. I thought the cloud was supposed to be the be-all and end-all.
It's great for many things, but the cloud isn't perfect.
Yep.
One of its biggest weaknesses is something called latency. You know that lag you experience sometimes, like when you're on a video call and the image freezes?
Ugh, tell me about it. Drove me crazy during online gaming sessions.
Exactly. That delay is latency, and it happens because data has to travel all the way to a data center and back again.
Okay.
Now, for things like watching videos or checking email, a little latency might not be a big deal, but for certain applications, it's a game changer.
I can imagine, like I'm already thinking of a bunch of scenarios where that delay could be a huge problem.
Precisely. Imagine a self-driving car relying on the cloud to make a split-second decision to avoid an obstacle. That round trip to the cloud and back could be the difference between a safe stop and a collision.
Yeah, that's a great example. So it's not just about self-driving cars, right?
No.
What are some other examples?
Oh, tons.
Yeah.
Edge computing has its fingers in so many pies, it's crazy.
Right.
Like industrial IoT, for example. Imagine sensors on factory machines
Okay.
constantly monitoring everything.
I see where you're going with this.
Temperature vibrations, all that jazz. Gathering mountains of data, and
Yeah.
that's where edge computing swoops in.
So what's the advantage of processing it right there on the factory floor? Why not just send it all to the cloud?
Because speed is key. Instead of sending all that data to the cloud and waiting for instructions, the analysis happens right then and there in real time.
Makes sense.
So if a machine starts acting up, showing signs of overheating,
Uh-huh.
the system can trigger an alert or even shut it down automatically.
It's like a safety net.
Exactly. Prevents breakdowns, minimizes downtime.
Yeah. One of the articles we looked at said a car manufacturer
Yeah.
reduced machine downtime by like 20% just by using edge computing.
It's huge. That's a lot of money saved.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it's not just manufacturing. Healthcare is another great example. Think exactly, especially in remote areas,
Yeah.
places with limited access to specialists.
I can see how that would be revolutionary.
Imagine real-time patient monitoring in remote villages or telemedicine consultations with doctors miles away.
That's incredible. Faster, more efficient, more accessible. It seems like edge computing has it all figured out. But there have to be some downsides, right?
Yeah.
There always are. There has to be a catch, right? Nothing's perfect.
Well, you're not wrong. There are some challenges with edge computing.
Lay it on me. What are we talking about here?
Cost is a big one. Implementing edge computing, it's not cheap.
Really? I
Yeah.
guess that makes sense. New hardware, new infrastructure.
Exactly. It's a significant investment, especially for larger organizations. And then there's the management aspect.
Oh, right. It can't be easy keeping all those devices in check.
It's way more complex than managing a centralized cloud system. You need specialized expertise, constant monitoring, robust security measures. It's a lot.
So it's not just a one-time setup cost. There's ongoing maintenance and expertise needed.
Exactly. And we haven't even touched on data silos.
Data what now?
Silos. Think of it like isolated pockets of data that don't talk to each other.
Oh, so because everything's not in one central location.
Right. If your devices aren't talking to each other, you end up with fragmented data. And that makes analysis a nightmare.
Trying to tell a story with half the pages missing?
Exactly.
Okay, so costs, complexity, data silos, those are some serious considerations.
Yeah.
But even with all that, it seems like there's no stopping this edge computing train.
Nope. It's only gaining momentum. And a lot of that has to do with 5G and AI.
Ah, yes. The dynamic duo. How do they play into all of this?
Think of 5G as the rocket fuel. Blazing fast speeds, ultra-low latency. It's the perfect highway for edge devices to communicate.
So it's all about speed then.
Speed and responsiveness. But AI, that's where things get really interesting.
How so?
AI allows edge devices to not just process data, but to learn from it, to make smart decisions in real time.
Whoa. So we're talking about devices that can think for themselves.
In a way, yes. Imagine medical devices that can diagnose conditions and personalize treatments, or traffic lights that adjust based on real-time traffic flow.
It's mind-blowing.
The possibilities are endless. Edge computing is revolutionizing how we live, work, interact with the world.
Wow. I think we've covered a lot of ground today. From self-driving cars to smart factories to AI-powered devices, it's clear that edge computing is more than just a buzzword. It's the future.
Absolutely. It's an exciting space to watch.
It certainly is. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into edge computing. A huge thanks to our expert for breaking it all down for us.
My pleasure.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to check out the source material for even more insights. Until next time, keep exploring the ever-evolving world of tech.